am too, and for a couple reasons. So we had a scheduled guest. CNC Music Factory was going to come on. They were going to do an acoustic set, but they had to cancel because they broke up 35 years ago. So
somebody dropped the ball. On
someone dropped it. Yeah, I don't know. The manager is just grasping the straws there, man. He really wants this next album to drop, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe that was how he's going to get them back together.
Yeah, launch off this podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, now it's huge again.
Yeah,
they were great. Everyone should dance now.
But we have with us today, we're running 3 microphones because we have with us our first official guest.
First guest.
I feel so honored to be here. First official guest.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were not our first choice. We had several cancellations, several court orders.
Yeah, court order.
A couple cease and desists. And then Patrick's like, I know someone. I'm like, good. Because this paperwork's getting crazy.
I'm glad I had my phone on 20 minutes ago. Otherwise, you guys have been without a guest. So,
okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for backfilling CNC Music Factory. So I actually want to start with a little bit of background, and then I want to tell a very quick story about how fucking small the world is, and fill the two of you in on something you probably don't know. But one, Joe, you and I have known each other. I was thinking about it today of about 11 years because I worked with you at Satan's Gate for about 7.
Yeah.
And I've been where I'm at now and that's where I met you. I've been here 4 years. So
yeah, no, that's about right.
Yeah. You and I have known each other solid 20 at minimum.
absolutely.
Probably a little bit more than that.
I'm sure more than that.
Yeah.
College.
Have we said your name?
No.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Dave.
I'm so fucking excited. And now our audience is.
And by the way, we're huge in Michigan.
All of Michigan or just the mid? Upper?
One person at least is listening.
There is someone who has gotten a hold of this, and we just talked about this on our last podcast or our future podcast. I don't know. We do these out of order. But they just keep listening. We've actually asked them to
identify
themselves or
themselves.
send us a message because we don't know who they are, but they are loyal and we love them.
I'm just curious why they don't have something better to do. I'd like to get to the bottom of that. But anyhow, I'm your son's godfather.
Correct.
So we've become close friends over those 20 or so years. The best part of my friendship with Dave is that when I was 19 or 20 and I can't remember, and I worked at this grocery store, and they brought Dave in from another grocery store that this person owned to come in to be the manager. And I remember distinctly, I vividly remember them walking Dave around and introducing him to everybody. And I was in, for some reason, the produce department, probably fucking around. Guaranteed I wasn't working.
Well, you were cleaning some sort of vegetable. I'm thinking it was lettuce, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
you had your back to the door when we walked
in. I actually remember that.
Right, yeah. And I'm pretty sure you almost turned around when they introduced us. But I'm not quite sure on that. You looked in that direction. Maybe you were, I don't know, looking for a fire escape or something.
Yeah, might have been. There was a door right there. But I can actually remember. So they took him around and introduced him. He left. I was like, I do not like that dude.
Now, the best part is I tell the same story with the same exact punchline. Walked out of there thinking, I am not going to like this guy at all.
That's kind of funny. And then
I'm so glad you pushed through your differences to get us where we are today. Hold on. No, we're not glossing over that. What did you hate about him? And then when he's done, what did you dislike about him?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. He and I are so similar as people. I literally, in that moment, didn't even realize what I was doing is projecting that I was hated myself as a human being.
Wow, I never thought of it. I mean, it's a great question, but it's probably the same thing. I don't know. I don't have any idea.
We have some super major differences in our friendships. Politically, for sure. He actually likes politics. I fucking hate it. Musically, we have a lot of similarities, right. But where we differ hardcore.
Yeah, for sure.
But outside of that, we're pretty similar people.
Yeah.
Some different hobbies, but
some, but I mean,
Yeah.
the main hobbies were the same stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, skipping class in college, going snowboarding, that sort of stuff.
Yep. Skipping class in college, which was your downfall.
Yeah.
Because you skipped and never went back.
Right.
I skipped enough where the university literally sat me down and said, "You're not going to be allowed to come back."
Really?
That's true.
I thought universities didn't really care as long as the
Oh
check
no!
cleared.
What's their version of a guidance counselor? What are those called? There's like 20 of them, and they're like, for each school, right? So the School of Business has like,
I know what you mean. I don't know what they're called there.
And anyhow,
I didn't see one.
They called me in and they said,
Advisor.
That was it.
You're welcome.
Advisor. Thank you.
Look at that. Already
See?
contributing. He's
You
already
should have
contributing.
followed. You should have finished. My advisor sat me down and said, "You're never going to be allowed to come back to this university again unless you start to take this seriously." True story. And then I did. I did take it seriously at that point.
I never had. Okay, I had one conversation with, I guess he was an advisor, but he was also my professor for the class that I was really fucking failing. And I remember this is the only conversation I had with a professor outside of our class, where I went in and I said, "Look, obviously we're getting to the end of the semester. I know I'm struggling in this class. What can I do to get a fucking C?" And he pulled out his papers and he did some calculations and he looked at me. He's like, "You can't get a C." I was like, "Thank you. I'm gonna drop this class." And that was the other conversation I ever had. We've drifted apart. I haven't talked to him since.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I think that basically sets everything up in terms of who everybody is, right?
Well, you've known each other 20 years. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
long
good.
time. Been in a few bands together.
Yep.
You,
Some really good bands, some not so good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. A lot of original music. Just got out of one where we did covers. You and I have played.
Oh,
music.
okay. You were okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
This-
know that he was in.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so this is the guy who every time we talked about it, he played bass.
Gotcha.
So this is actually segues perfectly into. So I'm going to tell a really, really quick story about how small the fucking world is, and there are way better stories than this out there. But here's my story. I've known you for 11 years. I've known you for solid 20, probably more. Completely, the two of you have never met before today.
No. Right.
I've had completely different like friendships outside of like this inner circle. So the story I'm about to tell would make sense like if you were like you all hung out together, right? Did you know that the two of you have dated the same girl at one point in time?
Oh.
No, that's not possible.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
You brought this up a year ago, maybe
not quite that long ago.
7 months. I don't really have a concept of time.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
It is.
The last, my neighbor's daughter,
Okay.
the two of you have dated her.
Okay. I guess that would make
I
sense.
actually.
But does it? I mean, like, think about like. I'm
mine
sorry.
was oh god, easily 13, 14 years ago. We went out one time. I don't know how much I can say. Oh wait, I don't fucking care.
We're not saying names.
That's true. She was the sister of a guy who I was in a band with. And I met her at one of our shows, and I was like, "Who is that?" And apparently she said the same thing because this. Because of all that I got going on.
Okay.
And it's only gotten better with age lately. So we actually ended up going out one time, and I couldn't get past it. I really couldn't. I couldn't get past the brother thing. I just couldn't.
Oh yeah, we were both like couldn't get past the brother.
I couldn't get past the brother because they look alike.
Oh really?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was.
It's funny. I mean, what's unbelievably funny to me about this whole thing is like I said earlier, right? Like if we were in like the same group of friends and you meet a girl and somebody else sees the same girl, you're like, "Oh, she's pretty good for you." And then they don't, work out and you go, "Hey, you don't mind if I ask her out?" That couldn't have happened here.
Yeah.
Right? Think about all the things that had to happen in our lives.
I've only had one that's somewhat similar to that, where when I was like 21, 22, when I was really hitting it hard, we met this girl at a bar in Portage Lakes, and my buddy ended up hooking up with her for a couple times for probably like 2 months. Fast forward to Satan's butthole where we used to work.
Yeah.
And one of the secretaries there says, "Hey, Joe, I know this girl. She's single. You're single. I think you'd really like her." Sets me up to go on a date with her, and it's that.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I walk in and I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't do this because I know what you've done." More to the point, who you've done. I was with him like 3 days ago. Walk in, and I don't know how to relay this to her at all. That's like, you probably don't remember me, which is weird, but my friend has seen things on you that I wanted to see, but now don't. Unless you just want to show real quick, and then I'll leave. Turns out, another part I didn't know, she's a twin. I had the other sister.
No.
Swear to God.
You didn't even know that?
Didn't know she was a twin.
So you blew it.
No, because the entire date I'm just like, how do I bring up that? And then she's like, my sister, and I'm just like, oh, your sister? Oh, you keep talking about your sister. Wait, and show me a picture. I'm like, you're a fucking twin. Okay, I got a 50-50 shot here. I'm like, I got a 50-50 shot. So she gets up, whatever. I'm texting my buddy like, this is really random, man, and you're probably not going to remember. 4 years ago, Portage Lakes, that really hot girl that worked at that bar. Do you remember her name? And he's like, oh, I got to think about it. I'm like, you need to let me know in the next hour.
Right.
Because I can only hold off with dinner and drinks for so long. You got to let me know. He texted me back. It was so-and-so. I'm like, hey, you never told me what's your sister's name? And she's like, I'm like, boom, thank you, goodbye.
Oh,
and it was the other one. So
interesting.
it was we didn't stay together.
No.
No, we broke up for other reasons.
Okay.
Unrelated to my friend.
But, think back to this. So you dated this girl 14 years ago. You only met her because whatever my life lands me living here in Strongsville, Ohio. I have a Labor Day party.
Right.
She's there. We're in a band. We need a female vocalist. She sings. It was like, isn't that funny though? Like completely different circles of life. And
the only reason I even put it together, I don't remember how it was.
I know exactly how.
The last name was so unique.
Yes, that's what it was.
I was like, what was the last name?
Don't put me on the spot because I'm trying to think of what it was.
You're joking.
No,
you cannot remember her last name.
I remember it. It just I remember when you said it, I was like,
it's in there somewhere. I'll find it.
I remember it, but it's
I'm texting it to you.
When I heard it, I was like, "There's no way. There's more than."
Are you being serious right now?
I'm dead serious. Yeah.
You can't remember.
I don't remember.
You dated her.
Oh, I got it. I told you it was in there.
For how long?
9 months.
So it was an investment in time.
Sure.
And you forgot her name.
It took me a minute to remember her name. That's last name, not first name.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the last. No, I do now. The twin. I remember her name. Her full name.
You want to say it?
Kind of. No fucking way she's listening. She's not doing whatever she's doing.
No way.
She's filming Doublemint commercials.
She's probably.
But we're in the middle of a conversation about how small the world is, so she's probably not listening, but somebody...
What if she lives in fucking Michigan?
Oh, God, that's what I was going to say. She's married to this guy that can't stop listening to us in Michigan. Like, sweetie, you got to come in here. You're the girl? We can't lose our viewers like that. I'm sorry. No, we can't talk about it.
Yeah, so it's funny. We've been talking about dating because you and I have talked so much. I'm looking at Joe. You and I have talked.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not ogling you. Is it ogle or ogle? Ogle? I'm not ogling you.
Either way, I understand.
We've talked so much about
well, there's people that we work with who are dating, and like I've heard a lot of stories about like people who are dating, online dating, and things like that, and it sounds like a fucking nightmare, man.
Right, and
I don't know how. I don't know.
And I had brought up, and I think it was a podcast we released, some of the nightmare stories that Dave was telling me about his online dating, and I was
oh my God, it was. I do remember.
I was like, we got to have him on.
Like
just
2 episodes
talk
ago,
about
you were
this
telling
stuff.
me about it, and I was like, oh, fuck.
It sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
So we wanted to talk about this stuff. And by the way, Dave, there are women listening.
All right.
So this is
what an opportunity.
right.
all the girls that Patrick and I don't want are going to go to you.
Are you sure? Every single one that you don't want?
Well, you are our first guest.
Okay. They probably got excited when they heard about CNC Music Factory. And so
Everybody gets excited about CNC Music.
Everyone's tuning into this one. We're going to hashtag CNC Music Factory.
Oh, shit, we should do that.
Yeah,
Where do they follow us? Are they even together?
I don't remember.
I'm assuming not. I'm not going to look that up. At the very least, they're playing smaller shows.
Yeah. So you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can ignore whatever you want to ignore. And we just kind of want to, like, I actually don't. You know what? I think this is an opportunity for us to take a break.
Okay.
I got to refill my juice, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
All right?
Yeah.
Do you need to smoke?
I do.
You should have said no. Tell them Dave's a non-smoker, ladies.
Okay, well, we now have conflicting reports. And
You had your finger on the pause button. I thought you were done.
No, we're
he does that, by the way.
Yeah, don't ask me.
We had like a
questions that
20-minute podcast going where I didn't know that we were recording.
No, honesty is the best policy.
All right, good.
All right. We're going to come back in a minute. Okay, we are back. You have smoked. I did not refresh my drink. And you, Joe, are doing a great job of not drinking tonight.
Fucking shit.
But here, one of the things that we just talked about, and I want this to segue into what I want this to segue into you, is we work with a girl. We're not going to use names or anything, and she had
Tanya. Sorry.
Oh fuck!
That's not her name.
I think do we work? It doesn't matter. So anyhow, this girl, before she started working for our company, was online dating. Chose somebody that she found attractive through a photograph, and we can go back to that. And it turned out that this person looked nothing like their photograph. It could have been
Nothing.
a photo that was taken 10 years ago.
She said that she had actually encountered him in person, and she was just like, I didn't even realize it was him.
Right.
Because his photo, like, it's like this 50-year-old man who used his fucking senior class photo for his Tinder profile. And she literally said that. She's like, I didn't even recognize it was him because he looked so different than the only photo I've been exposed to. So that's actually a good place to start. How, in your experience, how truthful are people with with their photo versus people you've actually met?
It's both. You get people who are very honest about it and people who are not. I had a date a week ago. The girl clearly had 10-year-old photos
Really?
on the site. Yeah.
That kills me because I don't understand I don't understand how that in their mind that ends up. I really don't at all. I don't understand how you think if you use a photo that says that from when you were 20 and you're 34, there's a difference. No one ages that well unless you have like a team of fucking experts. I mean, I just don't understand how that's going to, or like, not to bring weight into it, but I'm going to anyway, or someone who is like a 50-pound difference than their photo. Like it's I don't get it.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say the one thing that nobody wants to hear anybody say. That shit fucking matters. Like if you take
It's a lie. It's a lie before you're starting.
If I'm unattracted to super skinny girls and we meet somewhere and you come walking in and it looks like while you're walking the wind is whistling around your body.
You gotta wear heavy boots so you don't get knocked over.
Right. I'm sorry, but like you misrepresented yourself to the point where like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not into it.
It goes back to, did we ever post about the fucking, remember the guy that married the woman who had all the plastic surgery and then had ugly kids?
We'll
revisit that. Either way, that's
going to be a mind-blowing story for people.
Yeah, it really will. I don't know, that kills me. I don't know how people, how you think that's going to end up.
Well, it's just like any other advertising. I mean, you buy products that have pretty packages. Doesn't matter. I mean, I'm sure you've ordered something off of Amazon and it looked really great in the photo, and you get it home and you're like, this really
That's actually a good point.
That awesome.
You're like,
but you don't send it back. You keep it, right? So
No.
same kind of theory.
Okay, that's actually a good point because you're like, okay, because all right, so if you walk in, I don't know you very well, but I can't imagine you're going to walk into like a restaurant, see someone and be like, liar, and then fucking walk out. You're going to go and you're going to sit down. Maybe they're banking on that. Maybe they're like, it's not really
My personality's going to win him over.
Man, when my witty banter fucking kicks in, I'm gonna reel this dude
So
in.
you met somebody in real life after having found them on a site.
Yes.
And how long did the date last?
Fortunately, I had a very tight schedule, and it literally lasted 25 minutes. and it
was it? Like a bar?
No,
coffee?
An ice cream place out in the middle of nowhere. We were playing a big party, Radio Pulse, and she happened to live.
Something else we have to hashtag.
That's right. RadioPulseBand.com. She happened to live about 20 minutes from there, which is about an hour from my house. So it worked out very well. And I said, I have to get back. We have to start playing at, X time. And she said, okay, no problem.
So I want to make sure I understand completely. She squeezed in a 25-minute date.
Yes.
With you.
Yes.
Ladies, this is what we're talking about. I mean, he had 25 minutes. She's like, I'll take him.
Yes.
And not to get graphic, he's really something to look at, too.
Wait a second. Put the mirror down, please.
That is true. I am the eye candy at this table. So, for some reason, the ice cream thing struck me funny. Because it took me back to that scene in Half-Baked when he asked her out to go get ice cream. And they all just started making fun of him for taking to get ice cream. Because I always thought that everybody would go, really? Yeah. You could have stopped me. Because I always thought it'd be coffee or drink. I think to start. Is that standard?
Yes, and actually I said, let's grab coffee.
Okay. I think coffee's a good... Maybe that's better than drinking. I don't know. I mean, not in my opinion, but...
I suppose it depends, yeah. There just happened to be no coffee shops anywhere around. There was a little ice cream place on State Road.
Who was there first? You or her?
I was there first.
And you were there.
Yes.
And she comes walking. What happened? She comes walking in.
She pulls in. She tells me what kind of car she drives. She pulls in, and I see her get out of her car, so I walk over to say hi.
Okay. Oh. And when you see her get out of the car, is the first thing that comes out of your mind, you are not what you said you were?
Correct. Absolutely.
Was it that drastic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
For sure.
Describe.
And I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and go through with the date. Maybe for whatever reason,
you'll be a gentleman about it.
Things will go well. And
how drastic? Like age, weight, height, eye color, hair color.
Height was the same. I mean, she wasn't.
I don't know if
she wasn't 12 in her photographs, so she.
I hope not, because you agree with I was 12.
Right. Be very careful.
Finally, what I'm looking for.
Be very. Think.
Yeah. She posts a photo on a freaking jumper holding a teddy bear. You swipe left.
Wait, that says
right.
Oshkosh Bagosh.
Is that a Letterman coat?
So anyhow, continue.
Where were we?
How different? How different?
Age.
How different was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was clear that age was at least 10 years different.
Really?
Yeah. And to be fair, one of the photographs she had was with her father, and she was 45 at the time when we met, and the photograph looked like
a week ago.
Mid-20s. Well, she could have had a birthday.
Okay. Oh, it's so true.
The photograph was mid-20s, but it was with her dad. It was obvious it was her dad.
Yeah.
And so, it was apparent that she put that photo because it was her dad.
Here's the thing. Let me stop you right there. That's not acceptable. You're not dating her dad. You don't give a shit who her dad is. That's like me selling my used car and putting a 10-year-old a picture of
somebody else's used car. It's the same thing. Yeah. No. I cannot wait until we actually go through some of these so you can see the number of people that put pictures of their children, not just with their children, of their children.
What?
Pictures of sunsets, pictures of dogs.
That's not what you're dating. You're not dating their dog.
Yeah, but if you put a picture of their sunset, you're really fucking deep.
Yeah.
And if you put a picture of your dog, you are a dog lover. If you put a picture of your children, it's letting them know, look, these fuckers are a problem.
All right. Anyhow, yeah.
It's because you put on there if you have kids or not, right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I guess I don't get the picture.
And by the way, just tell them you have kids. So what? You don't have to put their picture. And by the way, you shouldn't put their picture because there's a high population of people on there that are fucking creeps. I'm positive of that.
No doubt.
Higher than 5%.
Probably 6-7%.
Yeah.
All right, so she gets out of the car. You're already like, that is okay. No, this is not the used car I thought I was buying today.
Correct.
Okay, and then
we
just
spoke
sitting
for a couple minutes. We went and ordered ice cream and went and sat and just talked. And then how'd you leave the date? Like, how did the date end? Well,
okay, no, this is actually because if you know that you're not going to
see them again,
yes, but you don't want to be like, we should definitely do this again, because that's not true. How do you end it when you're?
It's a great question.
When you know it's not going to happen, or how have people ended it? Tell me both. 'Cause I'm sure
well, unfortunately, limited experience, and both of them were exactly what you said wouldn't happen. So I saw this other woman, had a great time. I think you guys talked about it briefly. Said, I'd really like to see you again. She said, absolutely, I'm going to see you again. 3 days later, she sends me a text message. Oh, by the way, I'm still hung up on my ex. So
yes, we did talk about that.
Right. So this girl, we had originally planned on doing something the following day. So I said to her, are we still good for tomorrow? Not the best thing for me to say, but it felt like that's what I should say. So then the next morning I thought about it because I actually considered seeing her again.
Ice cream girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personality-wise, extremely intelligent woman. A lot of the same ideology, I suppose. But after thinking about it for several hours, I was like, nah, that's not for me. So she said, I told her that I couldn't do it that day. This was later in a text message. She said, what about some other time? And I said, I don't think so.
And via text message?
Via text.
Okay.
25-minute date. There's nothing.
I agree.
I think you're fine. And I also think it's also better to not do like, I'm kind of busy. I'll let you know for sure. Maybe some of that, but I'll find, and then not do it.
Right.
It's better just be like, hey, let's be real. We
We
dated for 25 minutes. Right. I think we can both part amicably and not be terribly scarred.
I am curious though, like, so she gets out of the car. You're like, okay, not what I was sold. You sat down. You must have had some decent conversation for you to think like, okay, I'd like to see her again and see. But like, why did you go from that thought to, yeah, no, I don't think so quickly?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It wasn't that quickly. I mean, it was probably 16, 18 hours later.
Just could be in the moment. You're just like,
No, that's
game
fine.
time decision. You're
I'm
like,
just,
you know what?
I'm curious.
Right now I'm feeling no, so it's probably no.
Yeah. Interesting.
Ooh, I got a great one. Okay, what are your... This is where I think, and I'm pretending like I don't know, but I do know. What are the things that you'll see on a profile that you automatically are like, no way?
A lot of it is screen names or usernames such as Sexy Biatch.
I'm not gonna lie. It is a goofy name, but I will look at the profile.
We're dating very different people.
Wait, what is your profile? Wait, or you don't want to say it?
Oh no!
No, you need to.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind. Well, it depends on which site.
Christ!
What is the most one you use the most and maybe has the most success?
I definitely like Zeus the
Okay.
best, and so my profile name on there is "Fire in the Flood." It's a song by Vance Joy.
Damn, I can't make fun of that.
And
I actually know the song.
so anyhow, wait, I don't remember what the question you asked was before. Fuck. Oh, sexy biatch.
Right.
Sexy
right.
biatch. And not bitch, they spelled B-E-A-T. Oh, that's fucking great.
So, what are other things that you're like, okay, I'm going to steer clear of this?
Well, I mean, that's very difficult because a lot of women, I've been told this isn't me being judgmental, have a difficult time expressing who they are.
Okay.
In words. And I don't understand it personally. I don't have any problem telling anybody who I am or writing about who I am. So for a long time, I would just disregard based on, when they immediately begin their description of who they are is, I'm a mom of 2 and my kids are my world. Well, all right. 98% of us who are on these websites are parents. 98%. And so...
Wait, is that a fact? I mean, is that a statistical fact?
I just made it up. But yeah, it's
okay.
probably pretty
That's fine. That's what we do
That's
here.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's high because parents are... It's gotta be hard to...
I don't doubt that. But
Well, then
let's
stop yelling!
No, wait.
Sorry.
I don't doubt that it's high. But when he said 98%...
I know, my brain went
he
to say,
said-
like, that's really high.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. Because you said it so convincingly. You just made it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could be 48. We don't know.
It's not, though. I mean, in my experience, it's 98%. Most of the women who are our age and who are on dating websites have children. And if they don't have children, it's probably a fake profile.
Oh.
Probably. Actually, it is. It's a fake profile.
Huh.
That was very matter of fact.
What's okay? We were talking about age brackets. How low do you go? What's the lowest age wise?
First of all, what's your age? We have to have the context.
I'm 45.
Okay.
So my default search is 35 to 50.
Okay.
Which I think is reasonable.
I think it is too.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could not see you. I've known you long enough. I cannot see you dating a 50-year-old.
I have yet to have any interaction with a 50-year-old.
I talked to one a couple of weeks ago. It was fucking horrible.
Wait.
It's terrible. We got to get rid of them.
We got to get rid of the 50-year-olds.
Oh,
Just
the
wipe them.
worst. I'm fine with 49. 51, they're funny. 50, terrible. It's a bad year. Okay, so that's good. And that makes sense, too. It's yeah.
So what are some of the other things that you see that you're just like, yeah, no.
Disqualifiers.
Yeah, big disqualifiers.
Well,
What's your criteria you're just immediately weeding
Wait
out?
a minute. Why don't we just put... What does yours say?
my what?
Your why can I never... The bio or
Profile.
profile. Yeah, like what does it say? How do you describe yourself? Because I would have...
Christ.
I would actually have trouble... Because you can't write 5 paragraphs to describe like your life history. That would be actually pretty difficult for me to do.
Well,
So how do...
No, you don't describe what you've done.
Well,
You
even describing
who
myself,
who
I think
you
that would be. I think it'd be because you're not. You mentioned advertising earlier, and that's what it is.
Right.
You're not just like, hey, I'm this. You want to kind of punch it up a little bit and get more quote unquote hits or anything like that. That's the thing I think I would have trouble with is trying to spice up my fucking boring life to make it a little more enticing for people who don't know me. That way they'll click on it or whatever, see the pictures of the sunset that I'll most likely post. I'm curious about that because I would have trouble with that. I would have trouble with the screen name or the handle, whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, they have generic ones that you can select from.
Okay, that would be
There's
a big help.
some really wonderful ones that I see every other profile, like love to laugh. And
Ugh.
every time I see that, I'm like,
Ugh.
we all like to laugh. We're human. It's endorphins. Our brain puts off this chemical, makes us happy, gets us high. Yeah, we love to laugh. We know you love to laugh. Tell us something about yourself. I like to have fun. Well, everybody likes to have fun. I like to hang out with family and friends. No kidding.
Yeah.
Right?
Food's
Who
great.
are you?
I know you'll die if you don't have
You'd
it.
be surprised how many women that I message and I actually have to say, what do you like to do for fun? Because, they clearly like to have fun. It says so in their profile. What do you like to do?
Just have fun.
Yeah, right.
I like to just have fun. Okay.
So what have been some of your experiences? How many dates do you think? All right, let's back into this number. So let's start with how many times you've reached out to somebody for a date or you have been reached out to for a date.
All right. Reach out. I probably average 5 to 8 emails a day.
You have to, right? It's a numbers game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And everything that I've read about it, same thing, literally hundreds of emails in order to get a few responses. It's pretty
It's like
pathetic.
photography. You got to take like 200 photos to get one good one.
Right. Although
I'd be so bad at this. I'd send my first message would be like, congratulations, I've selected you. Take a minute, gather your thoughts, because I'm sure you're excited. and message me back. Chubby Lover 41.
Okay, so it's a number 5 to 8 a day.
Yeah.
Okay, every day. You ever take a day off?
Oh no,
No.
no. I literally spend 3 hours a day on sites just looking through profiles and sending emails.
Is this through an app, or is this like on like? Do you have to go to the website itself?
All of them have apps, so some of them I use
course they
apps,
do.
some of them I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Some websites are better than the apps.
Okay.
And as far as people messaging me, it's very few and far between. I mean, I get 40 messages a day from fake profiles.
How do you know they're fake?
Well, the easiest way is when you have this woman who is amazingly attractive, looks like she's 25, and her profile says she's 45, doesn't have kids, and just wants to take care of a good man.
Pretty sure, dude. You should fucking click on that and see her post. She sounds amazing.
I'm sure she is, and fake.
I just like to exercise and practice blowjobs. Message me. Like, I knew she was out there.
Wait, this is the easiest dating in the world.
Oh my god.
So, and by the way, this has to be a huge problem in online dating because if you're a woman, you're going to get emailed. It's got to be a 30-to-1 ratio, right? You got to get emailed 30 times for every one you send out.
Most women don't send out emails. They don't
have to.
They
because
wait
they're
to see
getting
who gets
50 a
messaged.
day.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The ratio is so disproportionate that like it's got to be fucking hard to be a dude in an online date.
Oh, it especially at our age. So in our age bracket, and these are facts. I'm not making this stuff up.
Okay. Wait, we're not known for that on this.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known
I
either
know
way.
it's one of my criticisms, but I keep that to myself until now.
No, you haven't.
There are more men than women in our age group on these sites. So, we're all, quote, competing for the attention of the attractive women because there's a lot of women who I would not date based purely on attractiveness, right?
Which is not a bad thing. Let's just be perfectly clear.
Sure. Just like, there's some amazingly beautiful women who don't read my emails. Yeah. I don't blame them. I get it. I'm not Joe.
Who is?
Just you.
Yeah.
So, I lost my train of thought there.
Well, I know what you're saying, but yeah, like women don't have to, probably don't have to send as many emails because they'll just wait, get the responses, and then respond.
But here's what I don't understand. I know, I'm sure you know too, attractive women who are online dating and aren't having a lot of luck. Like,
well, they may not be having a lot of luck in terms of the people that are messaging them.
Yeah, in fact, I spoke to a woman the other day about it. I did, because I was coming here, I wanted to do a little interview just to get additional female perspective on the dating site. And she
already
said,
prepare way more than we do for these
Yeah.
things.
She said,
I'm impressed.
It's more for my
I watched Aliens last night just to get rid of this. Still great, by the way.
Yeah.
She said, 100 messages a day. She was exaggerating.
Fuck.
And she said 99 of them are creepy.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Someone just comes right out with a dick pic or something.
Yeah.
I guarantee that
Huge
happens.
complaint. Yeah.
So, okay, that's problem number 2. Like, you're now sucked into this pool of a bunch of assholes. I've known Dave a long time. Good dude, super honest, high moral aptitude. He's an asshole.
I was going to say,
Right.
That was how you first described it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's
accurate. Yeah.
That's how I describe you to people. Like, look, you're going to meet him. You're not going to.
You're going to need 3 to 4 weeks to get past the outer layer. After that, solid dude.
But he's in the same exact pool swimming as dick pic guy.
Yeah.
Right? So these women get flooded with dick pic guy.
And then
they're
just lump him in because they're probably just
Exactly.
fucking sick of
Like, right.
It's
It's-
oh, great,
right.
another one.
Yeah.
Oh, hello to you too. Send the dick pic.
Right.
I know it's coming.
I'm sure it's...
I bet that's a real thing.
Fuck.
I bet that's a real thing. They probably just like, fuck it. I'm just not.
It absolutely is real. You could read through profiles where women have gotten so frustrated from getting stuff like that. They start their profile with, I'm not here for a hookup. Please do not send me naked pictures of yourself. I'm not interested if you're 10 years younger than me or whatever. I don't want liars. If you're still married, please don't message me. Things like that.
Jesus Christ!
What a bitch! Did I read that wrong?
I think
we're on her side. Oh, okay, honest mistake, guys. Sorry.
I mean, the reality is I'm on your side on that, but we have to be on her side because otherwise it makes us look bad.
I know.
Kills us.
It's
Tell you,
sexy biatch.
All right. Well, I do need to refill my drink. So
Actually do it this time.
I know.
You're like, I got to refill my drink. You had one job and you didn't do it. It was really weird.
So I'm actually going to do that.
What we do need to talk about what you're doing, not on air, but
why have you
happened
literally taken your entire phone apart from top to bottom?
Is this like that thing in the military where they can take a 45 apart for like a minute? You just want to see how fast you can do it.
Do you want to talk about this on the?
No, we're asking. Yes.
I have my phone set up to do updates during the middle of the day because when I have it do it at nighttime, it doesn't always turn back on.
Okay.
And then I'm late for work.
Okay.
Or it happens.
I think I know why it doesn't turn back on.
Because it's in pieces.
Yes.
And so it was restarting and was going to make a lot of noise when it restarted.
Oh, well, I appreciate the
I appreciate your prep work and your courtesy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back. So we are in the what is very clearly turned out to be a rabbit hole of online dating. These are things that I've never
this is
thought
like a
of.
YouTube version of online dating. Like, you click on something on YouTube, like you're like, oh, I want to see some highlights from last night's game. Next thing you know, you're watching a freaking mongoose fight a cobra.
Right.
Like, that's happened to me so often. And that's what's happened here. Because you brought up things that I just never even thought about. And I'm guessing more is coming.
So one of the things that we were on our break as I was chilling my beverage here, one of the things that we were talking about outside is like, I was telling Dave, I said, it sounds like this has become like a platform of shit. I truly believe that like online dating for a long time was how people were legitimately meeting people, and it made sense.
Well, it made sense, I think, for a lot of people who you talked about the amount of people that are parents on there. Parents a lot of times don't have time to just, go out and meet people or anything like that. So it's a very good way for people to. Yeah. Or if there are other people who do not have, and you and I have talked about this before, because I was one of these people, did not have that switch in their mind that I could just walk up and cold call somebody in the middle of a bar. It's gibberish. It would come out. So the site would actually give somebody like, oh, okay, you can find out right away if someone thinks that you're attractive, because if they do respond, it's because they think you're attractive, just in the initial onset. And then you can kind of talk it out a little bit before actually meeting. But unfortunately, I think with all the other crap that's going on, it's turned into exactly what you just said. It used to be something that was maybe a viable option for people that maybe didn't have the time or the patience maybe even to do these things. And it's been cluttered with people who are just almost, you would think, are purposely trying to ruin it for everybody. So I don't know. That's what it sounds like, having not obviously done it. So, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, but how else?
I don't know.
How else? Where do you meet people when you get to our age?
I don't know.
Like, you're not at bars, and if you are, like,
No. I mean, I'm in bars every other weekend with the band. So, but I don't want to meet somebody who's hanging out in bars. That's not what I'm looking for. So I'm not going to go to a bar to meet somebody to spend time with. And there is a lot of stuff that goes along with the websites. You just got to push through it, and it's a numbers game, as you said. Put yourself out there, and I'm on multiple sites. So rather than being in one bar looking at, a couple of people, I'm on 5 or so sites looking at lots of people.
You're 5 gigantic
all
bars.
Over. Right. Yeah.
No. It's worse than that. It's a super easy meat market. We talk.
Well, I think what he was saying, just back to the numbers game thing, as opposed to maybe going to a bar that maybe won't have a lot of people in it one night. You don't know how many people are going to a bar that you choose to go to. He's just saying you're expending your ability to meet or see new people.
No, I understand. What I mean is, there are no repercussions to the dumbness of being a human being on these sites, right?
Can you get kicked off? If someone can you report somebody?
Well, I'm sure if
Yes,
you,
absolutely.
yeah,
You can,
I'm
okay.
sure if you do something like
But
egregious,
they can
you're
just create
fucking
another
gone.
profile anyway.
And that's all they do.
Yeah.
But you can go on there and just throw caution to the fucking wind and say anything you want, do anything you want, and what's the worst that happens to you?
They kick you off the site.
That's the worst.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good points.
You can't do that in a bar. You can't walk up to a girl in a bar and just take her zipper down and just slap it on the
in-person dick pic.
Right. You can't do that. You're going to jail, brother. But you could if you
We've got to change these laws.
Yeah.
I can't express myself at PW3s.
So, okay, you're in bars every weekend,
Yep.
running sound for the band. Are you cold calling girls like Joe talked about?
In the last 6 years, maybe 2.
Okay.
It's not who I'm looking for.
Hmm.
There isn't a group of people hanging out in bars that I want to date.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Right. So you get to a certain point in your age, if you're a specific demographic and beyond, right?
Yeah.
You're not dating people you meet in bars. You're not. You're fucking people you meet in bars. You're not dating people you
I
meet
thought
in
we
bars.
talked about this. It's make love.
I'm sorry. You're making love sweetly and gently.
Yeah.
To
fucking
people you-
awesome.
You're doing that from people you meet in bars, but you're not starting
Nah,
relationships.
I don't know anyone who. Shit. I just proved myself. No, it didn't work out. I know one person that met their wife in a bar and it didn't work out. I don't know anyone
As
else.
a young person,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But-
Oh yeah, not 30 or past.
Yeah, right. Not at 40.
Right.
And okay, maybe I gotta classify like bar too. Like if I'm thinking of like, because when I say bar, I think of the places I go. But there are other places that
Which are super high class.
yeah,
Okay.
really, really. Like I don't know if you've been to like Olive Garden happy hour, but it's the who's who of Northeast Ohio. No, so I guess there are, I think, levels of bar too. Because bar, for some reason, I immediately go right to dingy dive. In my mind, I always go right there. But there are other ones that maybe I guess would be a nicer place. Also, it would probably depend on the time of day. Like if I'm in a bar, or if you're in a bar at like 8 o'clock getting something to eat with some friends or something like that, and you meet somebody, I think that's a little different. It also depends on the bar. Like a nicer place that's has more of like a restaurant feel, but also obviously serves drinks or anything like that. I think that's different. But I think what you're talking about is like a bar.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, you're not walking over and going, "Oh, how's the clam chowder?" You know, they're trying to eat dinner.
Fuck, I gotta write that down. That's good.
That was a great line.
You know, you get into
That should be your new profile.
House of Clam Chowder. No,
I'm changing
that
it
doesn't.
right now.
That doesn't work because I will guarantee you they think you mean something else.
Good point.
What if they're actually eating clam chowder?
Unlikely in Northeast Ohio.
While they're searching through profiles, yeah.
Swiping right and left.
Yeah, right.
What's the
But-
clam chowder?
I mean, no matter what bar you go into, let's say there's a table of 4 women. How many of them are single?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you don't know.
Probably, right. So, you know, the dating websites, you expect everyone to be single. I haven't run across anybody who's, you know, married or that I know of so far, but it's obviously a problem for the females, I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for good reason. Sounds like there's nothing but predators out there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the things we talked about is what's happening is these women go on, you know, with these really great expectations about meeting a great guy, and they get bombarded with messages from creeps. And they'll even, you know, finally message them back and say, "I'm not interested," and they continue to send messages.
That's harassment.
Yeah.
It's easy to be a
What do you
prick
do?
on these
What do you do?
websites. Exactly.
And that same guy is thinking the same thing. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
If
I
tell
really
them
don't want to see you anymore. I'm going to read between the lines.
Yeah. I
You
read.
want to see a picture of my penis.
Right.
I already said it.
What you meant to say was, I don't want to see you anymore with your clothes on.
Oh! Play on words, role
Right.
play. I'm into it.
Right.
I'll be over in 10. Or just or you know, the other one is just the super aggressive ones. They get pissed when they say no.
Oh God, yeah.
You know that happens,
Right.
Hey, you'd like to, you know what? Not really what I'm looking for, but I appreciate the message.
Oh, I'm not good
I
enough.
didn't know you were a lesbian.
Right. You're like,
You know that happens.
oh, sure. What? I'm not good enough for you. Have you done that?
Me? No. I've read about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
one guy was commenting he wasn't getting any responses unless he was literally abusive verbally to women, and then they would respond to him.
Incels. Do you know what an incel
You know what an
is?
incel-
I do not.
Fuck.
Motherfucker.
Do you want to know what an incel is?
I don't think I do, because I'm looking at the two of you and the joy in your eyes. It's probably not something I want to know what it is.
We're not going to get into great detail. An incel is an involuntary celibate. They've actually given themselves a name for members of a certain sex. Guys, let's be real. Who cannot, who women are not interested in.
Okay.
So what they're saying is that society has shunned them, and it's not their fault. And society, quote unquote, owes them sex, basically.
Which is super fucking dangerous.
Extremely dangerous.
Because they think that this group of people literally believes that having sex is a right, not a privilege. It's a right. They think they're owed something by the rest of society.
You should hear some of these quotes.
It's dangerous.
We're going to get way off topic, but we're definitely going to bring this up at another time. But yeah, he and I just recently discovered incels a couple of weeks ago, and cannot stop. Just every time I hear a story like that, I'm like, oh, he's a fucking incel.
An incel.
Yeah.
Maybe we should write to, a couple of these sites and say, can you put a line on there? I happen to be incel, yes or no, whatever it is. That way
Check
people know.
box.
Yeah, check the box. Like I'm 5'8", I'm Aquarius and incel. That way they know right away.
Is your sign still, is that part of it?
What's that?
Like, I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What is this, 1976?
Why that year?
Think about the demographic.
Was that big in that year?
Like, I feel like in the 70s,
When did people stop saying that?
I gotta be honest, I thought that was like a 70s thing.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
One of the...
Then I was born, and it all changed. Fucking A, I love how I can just bring that right back to me.
OkCupid actually has a ton of questions that you can answer, and then you can rate its importance. And one of them is, is the astrological sign important to you? Yes or no? So
I actually, the sign, of course not. I like that you can rate the importance of the question. I like that.
Right.
Because then you can actually,
Yeah.
What's important to you? And it's like,
yeah. Do you like to discuss politics? Yes or no? How important it is to you? Irrelevant. So,
Do you like to put your dick on the internet?
That's
You're
not
super-
one of the questions that
They
I
should-
strongly agree.
Right. But that's something they should be asking, right? Like if people are sending over dick pics, are you likely to put your wiener in an email to me? Yes, I am.
I'm glad you asked that.
Right.
Level of importance.
Hi.
Right.
Thank you for the question. Here's my dick.
So
Like, sir, we're the site. We're not dating.
we're gonna get back to this, but when I first moved to Cleveland, I've lived here a long time now. I didn't know anybody. I knew my sister and her husband at the time. And it gets pretty old hanging out with your sister and her husband pretty darn quickly.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, exact same scenario. Her husband had a friend in town from California, and it literally around the same time. And he's like, "Oh, I just moved to California." And he was like, "Dude, let me tell you." He's like, "You need to go on dating websites just to meet people and make friends." He goes, "I moved out there, didn't know anyone." He's like, "Now I'm hanging out with all these people. I've met some great, honest people, great people."
Yeah.
I was like, "Sounds like a great idea." So I can't remember what was one of the eHarmony. eHarmony was one of the big ones at that time. So I went on there and spent hours filling out, and it was like a $300 fee to sign up.
Really?
Yeah, it was-
I'd fucking die alone. Fuck, I'm not spending that.
But I didn't know anybody here. I was like, and this kid was like talking about how great. He's like, "I've made so many friends." And by the way, he was like, "I'm not dating these people." He's like, "I'm hanging out." He's like, I've met people through people. I've made actual real life friend connections. I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I did it. I finished my hours of work, spent my money. eHarmony sent me an email saying, "You are 100% unmatchable. You're so unmatchable. We're not even going to take your money from you."
Do you still have that email?
No, and every time I tell
How did you not know we were going to be doing a podcast 12 years later?
And every time I tell this story, everybody asks me that same question. Like, are you serious? Do you still have the email? I don't.
I put that up like a fucking diploma.
But they literally sent me an email saying, hey, sorry about your luck, but there's no way we're going to find anybody for you.
Our algorithm cannot handle your apathy.
We're not going to take your money. I thought that was pretty cool. Really?
They just sent you a link to another website.
Yeah.
Incel.com.
Go on this. Incel.com.
Incel.org. Try this. You'll probably find like-minded individuals.
There are
Stop sending me your dick.
Government assistance on its way. But that's a true story. Anyhow, but where you can't meet them, you can't. It's hard to meet women at bars or even nice restaurants and things like that unless you're going to cold call and really, again, that's a numbers game.
Even then, you can't really even cold call in bars like you can't cold call in like some of those bars because eventually it's gonna be like everyone's gonna be like, all right, this bar's not that big, buddy. I just watched you do this 4 other times.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna get punched in the face.
Yeah.
At some point because it's inevitable before you like.
And what's your response gonna be? Well, it's a numbers game, and those 3 said. So I'm to you now.
Yeah,
admittedly, you weren't my first choice, but as you can see, I'm running out of options. What's your sign?
And you used to be up until probably about 10 years ago. It was common, like especially the older you got, it was super commonplace to meet and date and eventually marry somebody you worked with.
Yeah,
that was super common. You can't do that anymore.
Nah, it's a gamble.
It's a big gamble. You have to be super careful about asking out like somebody you work with.
No, yeah, because you can go up to someone and be like, hey, do you want to go get a drink after work? Like, yeah, do you want a double date with HR and your boss? Fucking asshole. You're like, wow, that escalated quickly. So I will meet you there.
And we talked about on our last podcast where you work. I'm certain that there's no likelihood of meeting.
No. There's very few women in my industry, and those that there are, most of them are married or older.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. However, I did recently run into a young woman at an establishment, and I decided to get a job there so that I could. You haven't heard this story, Joe. I did.
What the fuck?
Patrick will be right back momentarily.
The look on your face
is a fucking gamble, man.
Wait a second. The look on your face, the look on Joe's face was one of pure astonishment.
Well, it's right up there with I meet somebody in the bar and I'm just like, I'd love to take you out something. Oh, I'm actually only visiting. I actually live in Nevada. I'm like, oh, what are the taxes like there? And then I moved to Nevada. Just to increase my chances. All right, tell this story. That's fucking great.
I mean, I took a job there part-time to just meet this woman and see how things went.
I'm so glad you two met each other. Clearly it went well and you're happy. Right. That's fucking great, man.
So continue, please.
Well, I mean, I feel I probably should quit and just get a job somewhere else now.
Eventually, they're like, you're going to be interviewing a job. Like, you have a lot of experience.
And I always have to say things. Like, so, where do you work? I mean, that's a boring question.
Yeah.
I already know where you work, right?
Right. You can be like, hey, we got a lot in common. We both work here.
I just want to make sure I completely understand.
Yeah.
You walked into some place and said, that's an attractive girl. I'd like to talk to her. So the first thing you did was say, may I have an application?
Yes. No, I mean... No, I actually had asked for an application hoping to get my son a job there. But then when I got back into the vehicle, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just work there. All right, Joe?
That's a lot to process. Okay, so your son is still unemployed.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Can I ask what kind of place this was?
That's a local hardware store.
Okay. I immediately went to like an Olive Garden. Am I just hungry?
That's twice.
Yeah, I'm just hungry. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just hungry. I really love their breadsticks, and I just. That's awesome.
So you got the job,
Oh, absolutely.
and then
Oh, we went out a couple times.
so
shit. Okay.
Yeah. And it just wasn't.
Did you
What
tell
you
her
noticed.
why you got the job there?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I would have too. I would have.
And she was flattered.
Yeah.
Which should have been a red flag for me.
Yeah. I would have too. Like, the only reason I got this job is because I wanted to get to know you.
that's pretty sweet,
Yeah.
and it's a cute story.
Yeah.
Too bad it's not going to work
Doesn't
out.
put
did
money
not
in
work
his
out.
son's pocket.
It
but-
did not work out. Is there still a chance?
No.
I don't know.
And I know that she's not listening or anybody, so who would know her. So I could say, yeah, I'm glad it didn't work out.
Well,
Okay.
unless she
It
got
was
transferred to the hardware branch in Michigan,
Michigan.
and she is
Wait,
our loyal follower.
That's a good point.
that would be bad news for you.
I mean,
Does she follow you on Instagram?
Yes,
Well, she's going to know you're here recording.
that's a good point.
Oh shit!
'Cause
Yeah, we totally tagged you in that photo.
It's fine. She won't listen.
That's fine. Yeah. And if she asks about it, just tell her to avoid it.
Right.
It does. We can
Total
cut this.
episode 6. I thought that was really good. Definitely not this one.
Right. That's interesting. So are you still working there?
Yeah, I do.
And is it awkward? Like
No,
that you-
it's not. We went out a couple times.
like did anything happen?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
'cause
Sure.
I got this job to meet you. I had sex with you. We didn't like one another, but I'm still working here.
Had
But
that
the-
happened,
but the-
I would have quit immediately.
Okay.
But the hours are so good for me. Are you looking? Because I feel like you can do better. Oh, shit. Just emailing her like different jobs off Career Builder.
Speaking of like this whole scenario, can you open that window a little bit? Do you mind? Just a little. Have you ever seen anybody you know when you are on these websites?
Like a relative.
Or
And then
like
went out.
It's funny you say
And
that
then
because
went out and it was weird.
yeah, no, I thought of that the other day, and I was thinking, what if I end up talking to one of my cousins?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ugh.
that would be very awkward, as everybody would know. And then that day, I messaged a woman, introduced myself.
please tell me it's your sister.
No, she's married.
I don't know that matters from what we've heard.
Oh, that's
Mm.
true. And just asked a little bit about her, and her response to me was, "Really, Dave?" with a question mark. And I was like, "Okay, obviously I know this girl, but I don't have a clue who she is."
Oh, shit.
So now for hours I'm going through, and I said, I apologize, I don't remember who you are, something else, trying to get her to just tell me who she is. Nothing. She did not respond. So I'm trying to figure out who it is. Finally, 8 hours later, she told me who she was, and then I remembered. So yes and no. I've never run across somebody that I know, but I have.
Wait a second.
Was this someone you definitely should have known? Yes, okay.
Most normal people, yeah. Right, yeah.
I don't understand.
I didn't recognize her.
No, I get that part, but like I feel like you're leaving some details out here. So, who was this person?
A girl that I went to high school with.
Oh, it was just a girl you went to high school with?
Well,
Yeah, yes, we went to high school together. There might...
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Joe.
thank God there's no video to this. But still, that's
Why would she?
math. 17 years later?
Yeah, like who cares?
Get over yourself,
And
lady.
by the way, she was saying, "No, I'm not interested."
No, she was just surprised that I didn't recognize her. She recognized
Oh,
Jesus
I
Christ.
understand now.
27 years later. I'm so bad at math.
me. Yeah, it's all right.
You are really bad at
I'm
math.
really
It
bad
was
at
30
math.
years.
That's a
We were
problem.
15. So, yeah.
Problem. jobs.
30 years ago.
So, are you going to go on a date with her
I did.
at the ice cream shop?
No, this was yesterday.
Okay.
We went out yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Had a great
And
time.
This is awesome because it had such a rough start, and then or kind of a funny start. When she was saying things like, and maybe I don't know if you guys talked about this. When she was like, "Really, Dave?" Was she more like jokingly, "Really, Dave," or like pissed off? Really?
No, not angry. Just
Okay.
why would it take her 8 hours?
I don't know. I didn't.
Who's
ask
that
question.
fucking important? Nobody's that important. Like,
Well, she remembered Dave, so he's that important.
I'm talking about like 8 hours to respond to somebody.
Oh,
Nobody's that important.
Well, website, so she's on there or not, and
yeah, maybe she's working or eating or
was during the day.
yeah.
Okay,
I'll cut her some slack.
I understand, but here's my question. I'm on a dating website. It's not. We've already discussed how hard the sledding is on these dating websites. You start some interaction. I would legitimately believe that interaction, as long as you got a little nibble on your line, would be all you were interested in for the next however long that happens.
You're completely wrong.
That's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, is my surprise?
He's wrong a lot.
That's so true. Is my surprise but do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely, and I used to believe the same thing that you just expressed, but that's not the way.
That's mind-blowing to me. Then what are you doing on there? You're not that interested in dating where you can't be looking for and send back a reply?
Well,
How interested are you?
There's a lot of factors that go into it, though. You don't know how long they've been on it. You don't know how many dick pics they've gotten. You don't know how many times they've been lied to. You don't know how many.
But she knew him.
Well, still, but he didn't know that. I mean, and also just maybe she just had other shit that she had to do where she couldn't just be on the website. I mean, it's...
How long after that interaction to your first date was it?
A couple days.
First chance the two of you
Yes.
were free.
Yes, absolutely. First
Oh,
chance.
wow. I didn't know it took that. I didn't know it was that quick. I thought you would message back. Well, I guess you kind of know her anyway. I thought you would kind of message back and forth
Sure, yeah.
for a little while and then be like, maybe we'll talk on the phone. And clearly I don't know.
Were you
And
an
then
asshole
eventually
in high
meet.
school still?
Absolutely. Worse than I am now. Way worse.
I don't think you're that bad. I really don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who know me who would wonder about your psyche at this point for that comment.
We should have them on. Let's have the Dave counterpoint for the next guest. Like, what do you think of Dave? He's
I'll just go
fucking
knock
awesome.
on the neighbor's door. Because that won't go well.
Or find
neighbor?
Yeah.
Or that girl from the hardware store.
So you went out yesterday.
Yes,
And how did it go?
it went great.
So I'm not doing that thing where I'm asking for details. Like,
I would like details.
Yeah.
What did you wear?
Well,
this t-shirt.
because I'm currently wearing her T-shirt, so we'll just
Wait, that's a woman's t-shirt?
no, but she
Store.
owns it.
Are you at all concerned why she has another man's t-shirt available for you to wear?
No,
That should be a red flag.
I have all kinds of women's clothes that I could lend out if somebody were to leave my house and needed clothes.
I feel like we're entering a brand new podcast.
Yeah, I do too. We went from how to find a date to now I'm dating somebody who is dating other men/women right now.
Why are we ruling out cross-dressing?
I hadn't even considered it.
First place I went. That's
Okay.
probably a problem for me.
Now, see, you didn't ask if I had seen anything like that on these sites, and the answer to that is yes.
Oh.
And it's apparent that that is a man that's
Oh,
wearing
but
a
they're
wig.
not saying I'm transgender or transsexual. They're just like a man dressed as a woman.
I don't know because I don't click on the profile to see.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm not
Hell
curious.
yeah. See where this goes.
I'm gonna
It's clearly oh wow.
just
I
a
see
new
that.
adventure in my life.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you're gonna see her again?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Oh, for
Cool.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So there was a spark here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every 30 years. It's a good time.
Man, I'll tell you what, when you're 75, you two are going to have like the Notebook. And
You guys will go from teenage love to middle age, whatever, to dying together.
Correct.
That's weird.
It might happen. Have you seen The Notebook?
No, but I know it's a romantic story, so I reference it.
Okay, very good. I've never seen it personally. There are a lot of people who list that as one of their interests.
The Notebook
Yes.
is an interest.
And, movies, TV.
Oh.
The Notebook is right there next to the Bible.
See, man, I love that.
Next to the Bible?
Not the Notebook part. I love that because to me, that is important. If somebody writes down, if I'm like, what are your top 5 favorite movies? And they're like, Legally Blonde. I'm like, next. They're like, Legally Blonde, The Notebook, Sex and the City 2,
Dirty Dancing, and Schindler's List. For some reason, those 5.
Okay.
I think that's important. I'm not. It's not really a disqualifier for me. It wouldn't be. So you like goofy movies or whatever, or things that I don't like. They might think that Predator is goofy, which means they're stupid. But it's music, all those kind of things. I don't think they're immediate disqualifier. But I'm glad that they list them. I think it's important.
But you have, and correct me if I get this detail wrong, you have reached out to women who have either put something that is an immediate disqualifier for you or has something in a photo that's an immediate disqualifier for you. And I think instantly of the girl who had a Marvel t-shirt on and you decided to mock her right off the bat.
No, I didn't mock her. I just asked her about it.
Oh, was it in a mocking tone?
No.
Was it wearing that dumb shirt?
No.
That's what he would do.
That's awesome. What was the actual shirt?
This is part of the problem. I think you're right. It's the way that I ask the question might come off as being condescending or mocking.
Especially if you're typing it. They can't hear your tone.
Right. And I'm genuinely curious, how is it that in this digital age of 10 million photographs on our phones, you chose a picture with a Marvel t-shirt? Something obviously said, hey, I'm going to put this photo with my Marvel t-shirt on this page.
Maybe she liked her smile in that photo. Maybe it had nothing to do with the Marvel t-shirt.
Maybe. That's possible.
Maybe the lighting was good. Yeah.
I have loved this
Maybe
discussion.
she took her phone apart into 7 pieces and she couldn't take any more photos.
And I'm looking forward to meeting this girl.
We should have
her on. Let's call her now. We do this now.
All right.
Let's call her. Just call her cell phone.
On the air?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I really thought that was going to work.
So did I.
When he's like on the air, I'm like, holy shit, we're going to do this? I can't like her that much.
I don't blame him. I
don't either.
As hard as he's had to work to get to this point,
right?
And we're gonna fuck it up with us.
Really, for a second, I thought it was going to work. I was about to jump in like, Dave, don't do this.
But go ahead, push the button. Let's do it.
I mean, do it.
Right.
But you shouldn't do this.
We did a recording. It's not going to make it, but we did a recording where we called a friend and tried to get him on. But
has he gotten back to you yet?
No. I left a very urgent voicemail too. Like some shit was going down right now. I know that this person is not trustworthy in that situation now.
Well, also, I think you were kind of giggling, and I think I was yelling in the background too. So
no, I've listened to the audio. It sounds like I need you right now. This is an emergency. And then about a 2-second pause. No, it's just a joke.
Oh, so he's won't be there for you for emergencies, and he has no sense of humor.
Right. Not a good friend.
Nice, terrible.
I mean, is there anything else we haven't covered on it?
Try leading with pizza on that one.
Pizza?
Yeah. Voicemail, just pizza. And he'll return the call. Clearly, emergencies aren't working.
Like, say I have pizza, or just
pizza.
call someone and say pizza.
Yeah, I have pizza. Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Okay.
I actually would. That would work for me.
The only thing that we talked about that we haven't talked about on air is the cost of these
that's
websites.
right. That's right.
Oh yeah.
And it's really fascinating to me the amount of manipulation that occurs. These aren't 12-year-olds writing these websites. These are marketing majors and psychologists who really understand what drives us. So, for example, just like on your phones, you have your icon, and then there's a little alert, red circle with a 1 or 10 or whatever it is. There's lots of those sorts of things. You have alerts. So, you click on it, and then, of course, you have to pay to have that feature. Most of the sites have some level of free But in order to communicate on some of them, you have to, spend X amount of dollars a month. And then if you want to guarantee that the person you communicate with can return the message,
What?
then you have to pay. Well, if they're not a paying member and you send them an email, you can pay extra money to make sure that they can
Oh my
return
God.
to you. Yeah.
It's actually kind of smart because what you can do is you can make it free to view everything, and then you see someone like, oh, I'd love to,
Right.
but I can't. What's $10 a month?
Right. The 10.
I threw out a number. I have no idea.
I think generally it's $30. I only subscribe to one site at a time, so you're looking at $30 a month, 6-month subscription.
Oh, okay. I think that was the thing because we saw that you had been on 5. We're like, is he doing 5 simultaneously? Even if that's $20 a pop, it's $100 a month.
Yeah. No, it's just too much.
No, that makes sense.
It's not worth it. If I were to see somebody on another site that I felt I wanted to pay to talk to, I have done that in the past. Just subscribe for a month. Just
have you seen the same person on multiple sites?
All the time? Yeah.
But that's not a surprise given what we've learned here today.
Yeah. It is to me. No, I'm sorry. You're right. It's not a surprise. It's surprising how many people are not on multiple sites. Like, I'm interested in having a relationship, so I'm going to go to one website and hope that my dream person is on that site. I mean, that's foolish.
Yeah, right.
If you're going to go out and get on a website, get on all of them.
Yeah.
You can sign up to all of them for free.
How do you not?
Right.
You made a point earlier, we didn't talk about it, but because of all the garbage that these women see,
right?
Like, there's no way they stick around very long.
A lot of them do not. It just bombarded with creeps. 100 emails and 99 of them are creepy guys. And one of them is just not really that interesting. So then she moves on to the next day and it's the same thing again. And after a couple of days, I can see where they get very frustrated. And some women will stick it out and, go through the mud. But, like I said, I spend 2 to 3 hours a day. And that's not reading emails. If I had 100 emails a day, I can't imagine how difficult it would be just to keep my email box empty.
You wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like you would do that thing where you literally looked at the photo of the person that emailed you and make that instant judgment of whether or not you found them attractive.
Right.
Which is kind of the shitty thing because I don't think people like hearing that men want to find somebody that's or are looking for somebody that's attracted to them. Those women are literally placed in a situation where that's the easiest thing for them to do.
Sure. Right. Yeah. I mean, if you have 100 emails and 10 men are attractive, don't get excited. I haven't changed my opinion, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So then you can read those 10 emails and probably one of them you're going to have some interest with. So, you talk to that guy, I guess.
And he's a shallow douchebag who eventually sends you his dick.
Probably eventually.
Not even that. Then think of like the next step. Maybe he plays a really good game until the actual meeting.
Yeah.
And then you meet in person, you're like, oh my God.
What a douche.
Great, you're a dick in person.
Yeah.
Or you meet the guy in person and he's a really great guy and you date him for 2 months and then you decide one day you're going to stop and get a card and mail it to his house and the woman that lives with him gets the card. True story.
Wait, no.
True story. Not me. Somebody told me.
I was like,
why did you send that guy a card?
Right. So how do you know about this story?
A woman that I met online told me about it. Just, talking about horror stories.
Fucking shit.
Lived with another woman.
For 2 months they dated.
Yep.
And she sent him a card to his... What dumbass... Why would he give her his address?
I don't know. Wait. Why would he go online and enter a relationship
because
he's living with someone?
That I understand.
Okay, he's a moron.
I completely understand. I actually do. I understand his thought process there. The address one, I do not. You're a terrible cheater, sir. Why don't you just invite him to your work events? It's cool. I can navigate this. My wife's talking to what's his name. I can talk to you while she's there. And then when she comes over, run to the bathroom.
It's just shocking.
Okay, so I do have one more question, but no, I'm going to ask it. So, how long after you're dating somebody do you no longer go to the profile or the site or anything?
Oh, great question.
That is a good question. I don't me personally, I don't have an answer to that.
Let me ask his question, but a different way.
Okay.
Are you going to this website tomorrow?
No.
Are you going to it the next day?
No, it will be, for me, it's going to
You'll
be
wait and see where this goes
Yes.
before even visiting again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because, and I'm not plugging Dave right now, but I'm kind of plugging Dave right now. He's got a high moral aptitude.
Well, I'm thinking about the way that people. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but
No.
I'm thinking about the way that people are thinking about like go on a date. Like, yeah, it was really nice. I had a really good time. Maybe we'll see if there's any other messages in my inbox. Maybe there's something better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a lot of people
Like where they're
think
trying
that.
to trade up.
Yeah.
I doubt what Dave's doing is common.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah. I think
I don't
most
think it's
people are
common.
like.
And I don't see any reason why you would
And
lie.
by the way, I don't know that I actually have a problem with that because
neither.
here's the thing. Because like if Dave goes out on 3 dates and it turns out like, hey, this just isn't going to work out, well, then he's wasted a week or two of like potentially meeting other people for something that didn't work out anyway.
Agreed.
Because he could always say to somebody, hey, I've met somebody, I really appreciate the whatever, but this worked out for me. Hopefully it works out for you.
I feel like I'd be really good at breaking up with girls now. I'm not just saying that. I really think I'd be much better at breaking up with girls than I was when I was younger.
Because when you were younger, you had no choice but to do it face to face. Now you can just send a text. Is that what you mean?
No, I just think I could deliver the message better.
Okay.
Because younger, you'd be like, just be super cold and shitty, and then they break up with you, like, whoa, where'd this come from? But I feel like I can have that conversation now where I can be like, look, you're very cool. I've enjoyed it. I don't really see us going much farther than this. So, I just think we should stop seeing each other first thing tomorrow morning. Ball's in your court.
First thing tomorrow morning.
But that's it. That's my deadline. I'm sorry, I got to take a hard stance. I can't drag you along anymore.
It's 7:30 a.m.
You are out.
Right.
You are out of the house. We can stay friends.
Maybe we could push it past breakfast. I like eggs.
I love eggs. Love eggs.
You just kindly, gently turn your head to the right and say, I know this must be a little awkward.
But you're still here.
Right.
And I thought we talked about
Right.
this. Oh, don't make it weird.
I thought it was pretty clear that when one of us woke up, this was over.
Yeah, I woke up at 4. I set my alarm for 4. And I'm not pointing fingers, but you're making this weird.
I set my alarm for 4. Oh, man.
Well, that's a good place as any to end, I think.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Do you have any advice for anybody who's listening who might be considering online dating?
Yeah, a bunch of advice.
Don't do it.
No. Do it, but realize that it's going to be like a part-time job. You really have to work at it. You got to. It's a.
You got to go into it with a realistic attitude.
Yes, realistic. Absolutely. You're not going to find Prince Charming. He's probably not interested in you anyway, or Princess Charming. I mean, let's face it. You're on a dating website, so probably you're not that awesome.
Is that a fair? And I'm only asking because you're on a dating website.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that
I'm
makes
not
perfect
that
sense
awesome.
now.
Yeah, okay. Just one last thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This just popped into my head when we were talking about awesome people. I'm flipping through one of the sites the other day, and there's a picture of a woman, blonde hair, athletic build, very nice evening gown on in some ballroom somewhere. I don't know where it was. I didn't recognize it. Not my cup of tea. I hang out not at Olive Garden.
They wouldn't want you.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
You don't have what it takes to go to Olive Garden.
So I go to her profile, look up, to see what she has to say about herself, and it reads, and I'm going to quote this: "My picture says it all."
Holy shit.
Are you serious?
Yes, dead serious.
My picture says it all. I would
Do
go
you have
on.
any idea how many dicks she got sent?
I would go on a date with her just to leave her somewhere.
I would go on a date with her just to be like, still waiting. This sucks.
My picture says it. Can you find that? Seriously, can you find that on your phone?
No, I blocked her.
Oh, why would you do that?
Well, because I don't want to waste the data to see that stupid photo again.
That costs data? It uses data?
Yeah. Well, when I'm not on Wi-Fi.
I would definitely keep it. And everyone else, like, come across, I'll just take screenshots and send them. I do that now. If I come across someone fucking goofy on Instagram, I'll take a screenshot and send it to buddy. Like, you believe this asshole? My picture says it. Wow. There's no way that woman is going to find the man of her dreams. She's going to marry somebody.
My phone.
Rich.
I do have a couple that I thought were really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back because I thought we were winding down. But
I did too.
We found a new
No,
avenue.
but I want to see some funny ones.
Oh, absolutely. All right, we will be back. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up here. We're gonna do this in a couple of minutes. The end of this is going to be you're going to be sharing with us.
Just some usernames and photos, just so you guys can get an idea of what kind of stuff is out there.
Okay.
This first one I found interesting, username wise. You're welcome to read it or pass it to Joe and let him read it. Go ahead and read it.
Terabell 515.
Terabell or terrible. I mean, how you pronounce it. I mean, obviously she wanted it to be Terabell. I get that. And then this one I've seen.
Tara.
Fungal.
Fungal. Right. Clearly,
Supposedly fun gal.
Fun gal, right?
But
I'm sure she is. You can edit this stuff. It's
Terabell, huh?
Okay. I got a message from this woman.
Oh, bravo, sir.
Right. Deleted immediately.
Okay.
Shit. Right. Holy shit is right. Fake profile. First of all, that woman would never be interested in me. Ever.
I hope this woman is real.
She is real.
I hope
She's clearly
that
real.
she's sitting at home wondering why this guy won't message her back.
Right.
He must be a real
How do you know
dick.
it was fake?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you?
Pretty clever fake.
And then it's Lordstown. And I mean, I love the people of Lordstown, but that woman doesn't live in Lordstown.
Wait,
No,
let me
this
see.
is like Miami or something. Look at
Yeah,
But
that.
she could be on vacation. I mean, I understand why you didn't bite. I really do.
Okay.
That's a shame, though.
Well, I'd have been like, finally, let's do this.
Yes!
You get those all
I
day
like
long.
you too.
And one more thing that you asked me earlier for some advice. Women like to do the Snapchat things where it changes your face a little bit.
Oh, when
Hate
it
that.
puts like a heart on your
Oh,
hearts
a
around
rainbow
you.
comes out of your mouth. I
Yeah,
fucking hate that.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I realize you want to be fun, but what happens is you get photos like this.
This reminds me of the movie Roxanne with Steve Martin.
Yes, she looks just like Steve Martin with a 6-inch nose. Right. Now, did this help you?
Did that help her chances of meeting?
She actually messaged me, and I didn't reply, right? But this is what she actually looks like. I did.
Oh, you should. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so once
Old pic from 3 years ago.
Right,
Maybe her nose does look like that now.
Wait.
Dude.
I... Yes.
No.
Same girl.
Go back to the other picture.
Maybe she does that
Right
as a
there.
test.
Wait.
Same girl.
No, it's not.
It is.
That's not the same girl.
Okay.
Well, how do you know it's not?
Why did you not? Why would you?
Because this is the photograph that I got. And I thought to myself, there is no way, I don't care how good Snapchat is, that it could make...
Wow.
And yeah, so just don't do the Snapchat.
Why is she downplaying herself like that?
It's-
I don't even
Maybe
understand.
it's a test.
Cute
Yeah.
and funny and all, but men don't
What
care.
was her screen name?
That site doesn't have screen names, I
Oh.
don't think. Oh, maybe it does. I don't remember. Unimportant.
All right.
And then I get a lot of, or see a lot of women who clearly have forgotten their login information. Just write it down. It's not that hard. Because when I see multiple pictures of you with different usernames, with the same
they've
exact
restarted.
photo, yeah. Just or try to delete the old ones. I don't know. Delete the new one. I don't know. Write it down.
Fun Gal 1, Fun Gal 2, Fun Gal 3.
Fungal 4, Fungal 5.
Terrible 1, Terrible 2.
Well, Dave, I gotta be honest.
Good luck, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, I hope this is not the same person, by the way.
Okay.
I really hope
I'll message her and we'll see.
I really hope that this whole new thing works out for you, because hey, if you have to go back to somebody you dated in high school, great, whatever.
So, if we can, we'll end with a story.
Please.
You know that I bought my second Outback years ago, and at the time, I purchased a bunch of stickers for the back windows that I really enjoyed. And I recently...
I'm so sorry. I thought you were buying restaurants.
It's Subaru.
I was like, why did we do this at fucking dinner?
Where's my
Bloomin' Onions and had a great fucking time.
fucking bloomin' onion?
Why are we sitting at this fucking table when we could have been having Bloomin' Onions and fucking Foster's, you assholes?
Right, everybody.
This
called it
makes more
biscuit.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I recently purchased a new Subaru Outback.
Makes sense.
And I wanted the same stickers or similar stickers for my car, and I couldn't find them. Googled, repeatedly for 3 months. 3 months looking for these stupid stickers for the back of my car, and I finally found them. I was able to. I even emailed people who had similar stickers for sale, asking them if they liked or had seen, the stickers that I was looking for. Finally was able to come across the company who made the stickers that I was looking for. So my thought is exactly the same with this. Eventually, if I keep working at it, I'm going to find my sticker.
I think that's legit.
Yeah.
It's a much nicer way of saying it's a numbers game. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Well, an hour and a half. It's our longest Guiltless podcast yet. But I think that there are a lot of life lessons in here. And you made a new friend.
Yes.
Acquaintance at
Thanks
minimum.
for coming on again.
I
We appreciate it. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I'm actually looking forward to hearing how this other thing works out and what happens from there.
Yeah,
There may be a follow-up.
Oh, I hope so.
There probably...
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want this new relationship thing to work out. I kind of don't want it to.
Clearly you wanted to crash
Because I had a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah. All right. We're out of here.
Thanks.
You want to say goodbye to anybody? Like just people?
Other than you two, no.
The person in Michigan?
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Listen, I love the Upper Peninsula. Tell all your friends. Subscribe.
There you go.
Couldn't have been said any better.
Perfect.